In this video, I want to talk to you about overcoming the issue at the moment with low quality leads, where people are wanting to perhaps buy property or get a mortgage, and the market, the industry, the UK world, the finance economy just isn't allowing it to happen. At the present time, there's more inquiries than absolutely ever in a mortgage world, but there's lenders who just aren't willing to lend. So for everyone involved in financial services, it's going to have a knock-on impact to solicitors, to estate agents, to mortgage brokers. And if mortgage brokers can't get your client the right type of deal based on their circumstances, then that's going to have a knock-on impact. And I want to share with you today a few things that I've been thinking about, things that we're going to be doing within my brokerage, things that I'm advising my mentees to do, and things that you can adopt too in order to be able to get more results from your marketing efforts, to maintain and make sure that you get the quality of inquiries coming into your business that you need, want, desire. Because the issue with having low quality leads or leads that do not convert is cash flow. And the hardest thing to overcome, particularly in your first 12 months, maybe 24 months, maybe 3 years of business, is maintaining consistent cash flow. So I want to give you a few strategies around making sure you get better quality leads, pivoting, and also income generating. Because now is about, this is where we see the wheat from the chaff. This is where we see the elite grow and the rest shrivel and die, give up and leave the industry. And now is the time to really make sure you are super focused, you are productive, you're energized, you're putting in the effort and everything that you need to in order to be able to get the results that you need and want from your marketing. So when it comes to getting good quality leads into your business, the main thing is always going to be marketing. Marketing is 101. When you are struggling, when your conversions aren't matching up, maybe you would get 10 leads in and you knew that you would convert 1 to 3. Well, at a time where things get hard, the thing you have to do is you have to work harder to fill your bucket up. Because you can think about, if you maintain the same level of marketing that you've always done, then you're also going to struggle. Because if your conversion was 30% and all of a sudden it goes to 10%, the law of averages and the law of numbers means that you've got to market harder in order to bring more people into the business. Secondary to that, it's also making sure that actually, is your marketing message working? For example, if you've been marketing to first-time buyers with 90 to 95% mortgage requirement, a 5 to 10% deposit, now it's almost impossible to get those. So the key thing is to switch and pivot your marketing based on what's going on at the moment and the criteria that is around and supporting you. Now, it doesn't mean that forever and a day, and this is where I talk about niching. Now, it doesn't mean forever and a day that you're going to have to continue with that particular demographic or that particular niche, but you have to pivot. So you could still maintain your first-time buyer, but you could start talking more about shared ownership and help to buy as an example, because then that brings in the opportunity to overcome the hurdles around the whole smaller deposit side of things. It keeps the economy moving, it keeps people buying houses. Help to buy is a great way to, support first-time buyers getting onto the ladder, also to help them buy potentially a much larger property, providing it's going to be maintained in the future, blah, 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 blah. So more marketing equals more leads, which equals more sales, which should equal more profit. Pivoting your marketing in order to tweak the messages that you're giving to your current audience, or you change it completely and go first-time buyer, instead go to home mover and remortgage. And it's about understanding your expertise. But if you continue to do what you've always done, then you'll continue to get the same result. In the same way that if I continued to do life insurance in 2015, I would still be, well, I don't know in what position I would be in, because that change and that opportunity to pivot, downsize, start over again, get back to mortgages, which is what I've been biding my time to, was a pinnacle period of my life, and a new beginning from that point of view. So it's like, if I'd have continued to do my life insurance stuff and push through that hard pain and that barrier and maintain that, I don't know who I would have become. I don't know who I would be, because the transformation has been completely different. So you must look at areas, and this is where there's impact areas in the business. You've got marketing as an impact area. You've got sales as an impact area. You've got, or advising in our world. You've got administration as an impact area. And you've got finances as an impact area. Now, if you're spending too much time on administration, that's actually having a knock-on impact. I was talking to one of my mentees yesterday during our group coaching and group mastermind that we do every fortnight. And I've been trying to get him to get an admin for almost 12 months now, if not longer. And we're finally getting to the point. The advert is out there. He's had a couple of interviews previously, etc., so on and so forth. But I've had this conversation with people and it's like, I'm really fearful of getting an administrator. Okay, so talk to me about your business. What's your protection conversion at? 50%. Well, you can easily get that up 20 to 25%. How are you getting on with contacting all your existing clients about remortgaging? Oh no, well, I'm not necessarily doing that. Well, there's a job that they can do. How much time are you wasting uploading documentation to lenders, network, all, sending out stuff, maintaining clients, answering the phones, boom, 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 boom. You get the point. The main thing is it's looking at it as an investment. You put an investment of £1,500 into an administrator, for example, on a wage, you're easily going to get 1,500, if not 3 to 4.5 grand back. And it's about understanding that side of it, investment versus return. If you do nothing with that time that you've saved, then yes, you're wasting your own time. But in freeing yourself up from doing the lower value administration tasks gives you the opportunity and the capability to be able to do more marketing. For 16, 17 and 18, it was just me, Lauren, my PA, and Jack. Jack actually joined almost 3 years to the day, and I had an apprentice prior to that, but we didn't really do a lot. We did a few videos and it was just kind of playing with social media, shall we say. When Jack started is when it kind of got more serious. So that was in 2016, end of 2017. So for 16 and half of 17, I was playing with social media, in all honesty. And having Lauren, and when Jack definitely came on, that completely changed the game. That's where things started to be really elevated, because it became about repurposing. It became one video becoming a whole week's worth of content. It became not me having to do that, but Jack doing that. It meant that brought more leads into the business, which gave Lauren more to do. And as soon as Lauren went and left at the end of 2018, I took on Toby as an apprentice to continue with that support. And I see many mentees saying that they've taken on an administrator and they're really struggling with time for training. And I can honestly say, and I think Toby would attest to this, from the day he started, he did not cost me time. He saved me time, because it was one task which saved me time. Get it right. Start with the simplest things. Then it was another task which saved me time. Might be a day's worth of training to get it right, but he just does that one particular task that's consistent every single day. Answering the phone, for example. And just slow and steady. When he's not doing that task, he's observing me and learning and asking questions and writing down. And I think this is where so many financial services professionals in particular, or maybe business owners when they're first starting out looking to recruit, cause themselves anxiety and stress and worry, because they stop doing what they're doing to train, when actually they should continue to do what they're doing and train on the job. So more marketing, looking at your sales ratios, looking at where you're actually losing time and losing money in your business, and bringing somebody in to support you, which frees up more time to do more marketing, more time to do more protection sales, more time to hit your GI, More time, more time, more time. That should be the one thing that's constantly ringing through your head. And more marketing is the resolution. You've then got pivoting your marketing in order to be able to, if you still want to work with first-time buyers, then do something different that helps them. Looking at multiple different streams of marketing. So not just using Facebook and Facebook groups, but getting yourself out on Instagram, getting yourself out on LinkedIn, having a structure and chunking your time efficiently and effectively to make sure that you're able to do these things on a daily basis. Because consistency is the most important thing. Why do I go to the gym first thing in the morning at 6 o'clock? Because it's a non-negotiable. I get up, I go. If I were to do that at 3 o'clock, there would be something in the business that would get in the way. Why do I do my live at 8 o'clock in the morning roughly? Because it's consistency, and there would be something if I did it later that would go, oh, I can't be bothered now, oh, I'm not in the mood, oh, this, that and the other. But as soon as I've done this, I eat my breakfast, take my kids to school now. So it's like, more often than not, the time allocation that I see in my mentees' days, and some of the reasons why people leave the academy is because they don't have time. But they're not creating time, they're not prioritizing, and they're not putting the time in their diary to learn, improve, develop, action, implement, and grow. And that's more often than not the issue. It becomes a vicious cycle of you just doing what you've always done. And then you wonder why in 12 months you haven't got anywhere. If you follow Katie Eatonton, one of my coaching clients that I've been working with one-to-one since January, she actually first came to me in November of 2018. In the same position when I met her again in December last year. And in the space of 6 months, we've taken her business from 20 grand a month to 40 grand a month. And we're on target to go from 200 grand a year to 400 grand a year. And that's because she's now starting to see things differently. She's messaged me like 11. I wake up this morning to a message at 11 o'clock last night. I found my protection administrator. And it's like, when you're in your business, you can't see the wood through the trees. You get so stuck in it. And this is why I'm such a big fan of mentors and coaches. I have mentors and coaches that I can ask questions to that can push me forward. But when you ask questions, when you take another viewpoint, and when you put that lessons into action, that's the thing. Katie doesn't quibble. She just says, what do I need to do? She goes and does it. It works because she's leveraging my experience to get the fast track result. And yes, she's writing more business, but for that small percentage of investment in a power planner, in a advisor, in an administrator, in having better conversations with people on her team, in getting the right people into her team, she's able to leverage more time, which then writes more income. So although she may be spending an extra 30 grand a year, 40 grand a year, she's making an extra 200. And this is the crazy thing, that I didn't know this. I've learned through mistakes and through trial and error and getting things wrong. But if you're struggling at the moment, and if your leads aren't converting, then you've got to make some changes. If you can't do more marketing, then you need to look at investing in an administrator that frees you up to do more marketing. If cash flow is your issue, then you need to look at the ways in which immediately you can get a result from your cash flow. And the way in which you get a result from your cash flow is go back to every existing client that you've already got and look to review their protection and provide them with new protection sales. Even if they're potentially in clawback, if you're going to earn 2 grand, but you've got to pay clawback of £1,000, but you're doing a better service for your client and the policy is more relative because they've had another baby or they've moved home or done something in the last 2 years, then you're giving them better advice. And you're getting new commissions and they're earning from it. There's nothing wrong with going back to existing clients and having more conversations. 80% of your income comes from 20% of your existing clients. Work smarter, not harder. Focus on the clients that you have got, as well as fishing for new ones. In the days when I was knocking on doors, when I first joined the mortgage industry, when I did a short stint at a self-employed place, I'd go and do an evening appointment and then I'd go and knock 10 doors after every appointment. And you'd generally pick up 1 from those 10. Sometimes I wouldn't, so I'd go and knock another 5, or maybe another 10. The more doors you knock on, the more networking you do, the more interaction that you have. Online, offline, networking, 4N, BNI, any little local networking groups where you can get together, Facebook groups, Facebook communities, all the different channels. are ways in which you can get more leads into your business. The thing that makes it work is consistency. So I hope that gives you something to think about and areas in which you like it, in which you can take action and get results. I would love to know what your best thoughts are for increasing the volume of your leads. If you're not converting as many, then you need to get more leads in. I would like to know what your best cash flow strategies are. If you're at the bottom of the barrel and you're struggling for cash flow and you really need to get some money in the business, then you've got to go all out in order to be able to get it. So what can you do? Protection's a good one. Contacting all your existing friends and asking to review their policies. Doing a £50 cashback scheme as a means to review people's policies, and when you save them, you give them £50. You've got to start thinking outside the box. You've got to start working harder, but also working smarter. Now is the time when the putting in the effort now is what's going to see you through the trials and tribulations next year. Because the ones who aren't marketing are the ones who are going to really struggle next year when things, when the stamp duty ends. The marketing you do today will generate you leads in 1 week, 1 month, 3 months, 6 months. And the leads that you get today will convert in 1 month, 3 months, 6 months, sometimes even 12 in the clients that we deal with. So it's vital that you maintain that minimum standard of performance and you keep pushing through. So thanks very much indeed for tuning in. As always, make sure that you share the video with someone who you may feel that it could benefit. I would always appreciate it if you could do that. Shares have a bigger impact on content, so please do share that across your channels. Make sure that you rate, review, subscribe, whatever it might well be, wherever you are seeing this. I hope you have a fantastic day, and I hope you remember too, now's the time to become pro.